There are 5 habits that make it almost impossible to lose weight once you hit 50. Today I'm going to teach you what they are. Once you know these 5 habits, it's going to be so much easier for you. And the best thing actually about these 5 habits is they're so easy to change. And we have to make it easier, not harder, if we want this to be sustainable. So many women out there notice that once they hit 50, it becomes considerably harder. A lot of the things that they tried in the past now no longer work. So what used to make you feel better and healthier, more vibrant in your own skin or your own clothes or when you look in the mirror when you were younger, well, those methods have stopped working. And I'm going to teach you today why that is. Who am I? My name is Alex. I'm a registered dietitian. Our mission is to help 1 million people live longer, healthier and happier lives. To date, we've helped 3,000 women lose weight sustainably. Myself, team of psychologists, dietitians, and behavior change coaches. So write these things down. I know they're going to help you. First thing to do is avoid fad diets. What is a fad diet? A fad diet is anything that you know that's become all of a sudden popular in the news or on social media that requires a heavy restriction or food group removal or something that sounds too good to be true because, let's face it often is. Ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet actually encourages a high intake of dietary fat. Those health professionals, those of you guys who are working in healthcare, watching this will know that it leads to a buildup of atherosclerotic plaque in your arteries. That leads to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and a heightened risk of stroke. If you have a stroke, God forbid, and become incapacitated, and your family are looking after you, a lot of people, that's their worst nightmare. So following a fad like that is really dangerous. I know over a dozen women who've had to have their gallbladder removed because their gallbladder could not handle the increased dietary fat intake from doing the keto diet. Do not go down that path. There's so many other fads as well, by the way, like Atkins diet, low carb diets, all these are fads. Intermittent fasting is a fad, and I'm going to walk you through that in a minute, why that is as well. Second habit that I want you to lock in or that I want you to change, and that is skipping meals. So I'm going to put skipping meals alongside intermittent fasting because they both involve you going long periods of time without food. When you do these things, you're more likely to overeat. Then you're not going to lose weight. That's why it's not working. When you skip meals, you also move into a catabolic stage, the posh way of saying your body starts breaking down muscle mass. That slows your metabolism and makes it so much harder. And the reason why that's not working now, perhaps worked in the past, is because when we hit 50, ladies go through the menopause. It can be earlier, it can be later. That leads to hormonal changes. That leads to a reduction in muscle mass anyway. So if you compound that alongside breaking down muscle from skipping meals or fasting, again, you're just making it harder and harder for yourself. So please don't do it. Don't skip meals. Don't fast. It's also not the message you want to be giving to your grandkids. You don't want to be saying, you know what, I'm not going to have any. I'm going to sit over here in the corner. I'll have my glass of water. You have the meal. Granny doesn't eat food before 2 p.m. or before 12 p.m. That's not the messages you want to be given, especially if you have a granddaughter. You don't want to be given those messages. And by the way, click on the link in the description. I will send you over some free fat loss trainings for sure. There's loads there. It's not going to fix everything, but it will help you lose the first stone with relative ease. And that's the whole point, to make this as easy as possible. And if you could subscribe to our channel, that would mean more to me than you possibly could know and help us towards achieving our mission of helping 1 million people live longer, healthier and happier lives. Third thing I want you to be aware of, or third habit I want you to avoid eating processed foods. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want you to remove whole wheat pasta or whole grain rice because obviously they're to a degree processed, so is whole grain bread. But I want you to try and remove foods like cakes, sugary biscuits that perhaps are calorie dense but not nutrient dense. Reason being is processed foods typically are lower in fiber. That stops you from feeling full. It means you've less nutrients to metabolize energy, which means you have lower energy as a consequence, which means you're less motivated to exercise. So it all comes back round. So try and avoid processed foods. Instead, have a structure of foods that you know are more healthful and have them in your diet regularly. Make sure that you have a structure to make it easier. Fruit or veg with every meal could be a great structure to have. Having 3 meals with 2 snacks a day. Never skipping meals, of course, as I mentioned already. Making sure that you prepare as much of your own food as you can. Do some meal prep once a week. Choose vegetables and fruit that you like. Avoid the ones that you don't. I'm not a banana man. I'm not. I don't like avocados. That probably makes me very unpopular because avocados and bananas have got loads of benefits, but I don't like them. So if I don't like them, I'm certainly not going to force myself to eat them. I love pears, okay? I love broccoli. I love so many fruit and veg. Carrots, turnip, onions, my gosh, absolutely. So I eat foods that I know I enjoy in a way that I know I like them. 1 calorie spray in a frying pan, for example, for onions is a great way. I like to microwave like strawberries, raspberries, mix them with oats and yogurt to consistently ensure that when I'm having food, I'm enjoying it. And if you have a sweet tooth like me, add protein powder, vanilla flavor goes in everything. And that makes everything like a dessert. And it's high protein, maintains muscle mass, and protects your metabolism, which is what we want to do. Super important, super important. Next habit that I want you to avoid doing is I want you to avoid neglecting your sleep. When you prioritize your iPhone, Netflix, or a selfish partner or a husband over yourself or wife, then what you're doing is you're eating into your next day. Because a successful day today starts with a great night's sleep last night. And I want you to write it down. A successful day today starts with a great night's sleep last night. So make sure that you set boundaries. When does the laptop get closed? When is the TV off? When does dinner happen? When does the washing up get done? Does somebody else do it apart from you? Could you delegate that responsibility? Never let housework get in the way of your health. That's my little girl, 14 months. She agrees with me. Never let housework get in the way of your health. And that's so important, by the way. And I cannot stress enough how important that is. A lot of people watching this won't be too used to putting themselves first. By having these 5 habits nailed, it will become easier. By the way, people often think that instant gratification is the way forward. Bringing the son, grandson to the football, or being the taxi, or always stopping what you're doing to help them. That's instant gratification because you feel important and needed. If I'm calling a spade. Long-term gratification is where you know that you've put yourself first. So you're in a better mood, you have more energy, you're more enthusiastic in conversations, and you're here. You're actually here, you're around for your family. To see them graduate, grow up, to be in a photograph, be proud of what you wear, a vibrant, colourful dress, or blouse, or jeans if you prefer, if you're a jeans person. Just being able to be in memories, be in the photo, feel proud when you look in the mirror, pass on these messages of self-care. That is so important. The last habit I want to go over is I don't want you to neglect your self-care. I don't want you to be afraid of putting yourself first. That's the catalyst to all of this, by the way. If you are able to zoom out in your life and look at the 2 paths you're on, where will I be in 5 years' time if I keep gaining weight? Who will have to care for me? Where will I be in 5 years' time if I've lost the weight and maintained it? What would your life look like? You can change your career, you can retire early if you wanted to. And yes, there's worries and fears of mortgage and all these responsibilities. But if other people out there have got the help and have achieved these things, is there any real reason as to why you can't have that as well? So now you know the 5 key things on how to lose weight, the 5 key habits. But to lose weight sustainably, that's a little bit different, okay? So I've built an 8-pillar healthcare system. A video should pop up right now, touch wood. Click on that, watch it, take notes. It will really help you. It won't fix everything, but it will really help you lose the first 1.5 stone. Watch that, pay attention, write it down, re-watch it. Share it with someone who you know needs to watch it as well. Our mission, as I mentioned, is to help 1 million people live longer, healthier, and happier lives. I am hell-bent on making sure we achieve that. And if you watch this and implement what we teach you, you can be one of those people. Live a longer, happier life. Sustainable weight loss is actually doable. And you don't have to do fads, gimmicks, and nonsense and magic pills that you know deep down as an educated person don't work. Don't put yourself through that. Take 1 step today and have a happier life.